And because it looks like XRP might get a pass and be one of the grandfathered in, including Cardano, in this whole process, I guess we just have to pass a horrific trash bill.
XRP might get a pass. Man, we better stop that. Can't have that kind of thing. Like, let's get real here. I'm telling you, you can make every cryptocurrency in the galaxy illegal, and XRP the reserve currency of the universe, and that wouldn't be a pass. That would be just. That would be a well-fought victory. Now, I love a Charles crash out because there's a lot of truth to it. And listen, I have a lot of different cryptocurrencies. Of course, I want a good bill. I want this industry to thrive. Is Charles right in principle? Yes, this is not a great bill. There's a lot of problems with it. But I would ask you, what are your odds that it gets better? Because nothing's going to happen post midterms. I'm telling you right here, you're not going to get anything done. So that's going to cook you for 2 years. And then you don't know who the next administration is. Now, it might be someone that's great and has really well thought out, regulations that take care of this space, that are sensible, that allow us to grow. All sorts of things could happen, but it's very likely you get Elizabeth Warren, who won't miss her shot next time around. She won't sue everyone. She will write the laws for the future of this industry, and it ain't going to be favorable. And you think because XRP won a court case, yeah, that's under today's laws, not the laws they're going to write in the future. You must, and I mean you must, get this done now and protect this industry, protect cryptocurrencies, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, your major cryptocurrencies. I don't care about DeFi or metaverse or whatever stuff you want to do. We'll figure that out as we go. If we get crypto, codified in law that this is legal, we're going to be able to do whatever we want. This is so important. We have to strike while the iron is hot. Now we see this, Eleanor Terrett saying March brings another shot at Clarity Act. Markup as stablecoin talks drag on. So talking about being able to earn yield. Man, if this thing gets sunk over this yield argument, I'm going to be livid. It can't. The White House had a deadline. What are we going to do now? Well, what we do with every great government deadline, we're just going to push it out a little bit farther and hope we can get this thing. This is a race before the midterms. It has to get done. A lot of people think it still does, but if this gets sunk because of stable coins, I don't even know what to say. You're going to have Coinbase, who is going to rue the day. You think during the Gary Gensler era, when they were under siege and all the money they spent, is this coin a security? Is it not? Is this industry legal at all? If they have to return back to that, and you can, it ain't going to be funny. It's going to be disastrous. It could be a decade of nothing for this whole space. They got to get this done. From there, we'll work around it. I'm telling you. Now, David Schwartz, he says Ripple's had a lot of opportunities where they could have advocated only for themselves to the detriment of other people. And he says, absolutely, we're going to try as hard as possible not to do that. Now, David is honest as they get, sometimes too honest. He also says, we might do that if we had to. He's just telling you the way it is. If they have to do that, yeah, this is a corporation. Corporations are cold and calculated, and they will do what's best for them. That's an honest answer. And he also says it's totally fair for people who think they're doing this to try to hold them accountable, bring up the facts. Great for Charles, bringing up, all the problems with this bill, where we should be. But, sunshines and rainbows ain't reality. It ain't going to be the perfect bill here. We got to get done what we can, in my opinion. And I think we got a shot here, and crypto will do well if that happens. Now, huge news. This was announced by David Schwartz today. TradFi just plugged into XRP Ledger. This is as big as it gets. Hidden Road is now live on DTCC NSCC directory. This is the clearinghouse, the backbone of U.S. markets. DTCC, they clear 2.5 quadrillion a year in transactions. Legacy transactions right now, it's T+1. It sits there for 24 hours. Might we be able to speed that up? Clear through the NSCC, settle on XRP in seconds. Again, Canton Network, the other one that is, integrated with DTCC, doing some big stuff here. Remember, if you are really going to do autonomous stock trading, you can't do it in 3 seconds. You're going to need something that's much faster, something that sits on top of decentralized rails. I know Chris Larson has his investment in Yellow, which is exactly for this. But as we're onboarding this technology to blockchain, there's a lot more that has to happen but this was big. You can see they're looking at everything XRP Ledger brings to the table, everything that Ripple brings to the table, and they want this included in the financial backbone of the future. That could be massive. You don't need the whole 2.5 quadrillion to get a small percentage of that. It's still massive, and hopefully we get a heck of a lot more than a small percentage. Now, Daniel, you know, the CEO of XRP Ledger, he's saying this is emergency. We need to think about how we do things here. And so he's saying he's not going to vote anymore until they fix this system. We've had like 3 amendments that almost went live that could have had catastrophic risk because they weren't, you know, properly vetted and reviewed. And if they went live, the ledger could have went under, people could have lost funds. It could have been bad. And it just recently almost happened again, down to the wire. And he's saying himself, as a UNL validator, he's not going to vote on anything, any future amendments, until Ripple makes a credible, concrete commitment to substantially increase investment in XRP Ledger core protocol engineering, security reviews, and long-term sustainability. Now, he brings up in this post, not really fair. It's not fair to call all this on Ripple. I mean, this is a decentralized network and all. Why should Ripple have to bear the cost? But the reality is they're the billion-dollar enterprise. They're the ones with a billion-dollar enterprise that's built on top of this stack, and no one else can do it. Who else is going to do this? I mean, we have XRPL Foundation or XRPL Labs fighting with developers over scraps and fees and barely making it by. Like, no one else in this ecosystem can make this happen. But even though you caught 3 in a row, that could have been catastrophic. One will go across the finish line eventually that you ain't going to catch. You best believe it. This is so important. And I'll tell you this, I think it'll work out because you have people like Daniel that are telling everyone the truth, whether they like it or not. Ripple's going to make the business decision. They need this technology to ensure their business can operate and they can build the future. This is going to get handled. It's an important conversation, one to watch, one that I'm not worried about, though, because, again, we have the professionals out here going over this in public so we can see what's happening on this decentralized blockchain, and we'll get a solution. I'm telling you right now, on Ledger, also longtime OG of this space, he says the faster you go, the more dangerous it becomes. It's time to halt and have a full rethink of the way forward. Again, we need to be safe first and foremost, above all else. But this space, time and time again, it can look messy because it happens in the public view. That's what open source technology is all about. But they always get it down. They always make the right decision, and it's going to happen again, in my opinion. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.
I'm here to tell you, this is it. The world as you know it is over, completely done, okay? It's not about to be over, it's over.